We are seeking to develop a unique educational story for children, utilizing your advanced AA video generation capabilities. The core concept is the Curious Compass Adventures, where a magical sentient compass named Compassy takes a diverse group of child protagonists on educational journeys to discover real-world concepts, things like science, history, geography, social-emotional learning. You name it. The catch is these concepts are always presented through some sort of interactive, age-appropriate challenge or game. So real learning is disguised as fun adventures.
Ho, ho, ho!
Think of it like a cross between an interactive children's museum and a choose-your-own-adventure story. Each episode of the Curious Compass Adventures will focus on a single learning objective that can be mastered within about 10 minutes. That's the typical length we're aiming for. And while the subject matter will vary from science to culture to geography to math, the underlying mission remains constant. Help Leo and his friends learn something cool and understand how the world works. The heart and soul of this series is Compassy. He's no ordinary compass.
Ho, ho, ho!
He's a curious, enthusiastic guide who not only points in directions, but actually asks questions, poses gentle challenges, and provides clues along the way. He's like a magical talking compass from a fantasy novel come to life. The scripts for the Curious Compass Adventures will be largely driven by dialogue and on-screen graphics, since young children are still developing their literacy skills. So the pacing needs to be gentle and the explanations clear. The episodes will unfold like little interactive stories with lots of opportunity for discovery and hands-on learning.
Ho, ho, ho!
And to make things even more immersive, each episode will feature a unique setting like a treehouse, a farm, an aquarium, or even outer space. This way the backdrops are as educational as the content. For instance, if we're teaching about animals, we might set the story at the zoo. Or, if we're discussing different cultures, we could visit an international marketplace. There's truly no shortage of adventures to be had. So let us dive right in with our first episode, titled The Mystery of the Bouncing Apple. Our story starts with a call to adventure.
Ho, ho, ho!
Leo and Maya are two young friends who love exploring with their magical compass. One day, while playing inside their treehouse, Compassy alerts them to an unusual mystery unfolding outside. Peeking out the window, they see something strange happening in the orchard below. An apple has fallen from the tree, but instead of lying still, it magically bounces up and down as if alive. Driven by curiosity, the children rush downstairs to investigate. There they find the apple still bouncing merrily in front of a backdrop of their fantastical orchard.
Ho, ho, ho!
The vibrant colors and whimsical atmosphere immediately immerse our young adventurers into a world ripe with possibility and excitement. Upon witnessing this unusual sight, Leo and Maya exchange puzzled glances. Leo, being the energetic one, suggests various silly ideas like maybe the apple has a secret bouncy castle inside. But Maya, always the more thoughtful one, urges them to observe more closely before jumping to conclusions. As if sensing their confusion, Compassy chimes softly, prompting them to consider what they have already observed.
Ho, ho, ho!
In response, the children notice the apple appears to be bouncing downwards, not upwards. Puzzled, they ask Compassy for a clue. In response, Compassy lights up and projects a thought bubble above their heads containing the words, "I wonder what makes things fall down." Intrigued, Leo and Maya decide to revisit the apple tree to conduct a few experiments. After all, it's not every day you encounter a bouncing apple. Using exaggerated movements, Leo attempts to coax another apple from the tree. As it falls, he tries to catch it, but to his surprise, it slips right through his hands.
Ho, ho, ho!
The apple seems to defy gravity, floating downwards instead of plummeting to the ground. Spotting the curious phenomenon, Maya notices something peculiar. She observes that although the apple appears to be falling, it doesn't hit the ground or the tree. Instead, it mysteriously stops just before colliding and slowly returns to the branches. A realization dawns on Maya's face as she shares her observation with Leo. She notes that the apple never falls very far. It always comes back up again. This sparks a new line of questioning in Leo and Maya's minds.
Ho, ho, ho!
Curious about this strange behavior, Leo wonders aloud why the apple doesn't simply fall straight down. To help guide their thinking, Compassy chimes softly and points towards a nearby puddle. Upon closer inspection, Leo and Maya notice that whenever the apple falls, it passes directly over the reflecting pool. Gazing into the water, they notice that as the apple approaches the ground, its reflection also appears to stop moving, suggesting that it is not actually touching the surface.
Ho, ho, ho!
Delighted by this discovery, Leo exclaims, "The apple is bouncing because its reflection is pulling it back up." Sensing their growing understanding, Compassy confirms their hypothesis by chiming excitedly and projecting a thought bubble that says, "You got it." To further reinforce their learning, Compassy guides them to a clearing where several objects are suspended in midair. Among them are a small pebble, a fluffy feather, and a bouncing ball. With a gentle nudge, Leo sends the rock tumbling towards the ground. Meanwhile, Maya lets go of the feather, which drifts slowly downward.
Ho, ho, ho!
Astonishingly, both the rock and feather appear to be pulled back up towards the sky. Overcome with wonder, Leo asks, "What's happening here? Why aren't they falling down?" To explain this perplexing phenomenon, Compassy reveals a secret message hidden behind the suspended objects. Upon closer inspection, Leo and Maya decipher the message, realizing that it holds the answer to their question. As they read the inscription, Leo and Maya's faces light up with understanding.
Ho, ho, ho!
Together they exclaim, "It's the invisible force that pulls everything down, like when we jump, we always come back down to the ground." Compassy chimes in agreement, confirming that they have successfully identified the mysterious force. With a playful tone, he adds, "That's right, you brave explorers. This invisible force is called gravity. Everything in the universe is affected by it." In a clear, concise explanation, Compassy reveals the true nature of gravity. He describes it as an invisible force that pulls everything towards the center of the earth.
Ho, ho, ho!
Using simple terms, he emphasizes that gravity affects all objects, no matter their size or shape. To demonstrate this concept, Compassy projects a whimsical image of Earth as a giant magnet surrounded by smaller magnets representing various objects. He explains that the bigger the object, the stronger the gravitational pull. As a grand finale, Compassy reveals a breathtaking view of Earth from outer space. Astronauts are shown floating freely, highlighting the absence of gravity in the vacuum of space.
Ho, ho, ho!
When the astronauts return to Earth, they experience the familiar pull of gravity, anchoring them to the ground. With this newfound knowledge, Leo and Maya feel empowered to explore the world around them. They understand that gravity is a fundamental force that shapes everyday experiences. Before saying goodbye, Compassy encourages Leo and Maya to continue observing the world around them. He reminds them that scientific thinking is a valuable tool for understanding the mysteries of the universe. As the episode draws to a close, Leo and Maya look up at the sky with wonder.
Ho, ho, ho!
They appreciate the magic and complexity of the natural world. With a final chime, Compassy bids them farewell, knowing that their journey of discovery has just begun. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the land, Leo and Maya return to their cozy treehouse. Inside, they gather around their magical compass, eager to hear its next adventure. Compassy glows warmly, guiding their attention to a map hanging on the wall. A tiny red dot dances across its surface, indicating a mysterious location just waiting to be explored. Together, Leo and Maya share a mischievous grin.
Ho, ho, ho!
They know that with Compassy by their side, any day can bring an exciting new learning opportunity. Our young adventurers bid farewell to their treehouse, eager to follow Compassy's lead on their next big mystery. Where will their travels take them? Only time will tell. But before they leave, Compassy chimes, urging them to remember the importance of scientific thinking. With a final wave, Leo and Maya step out into the unknown, ready to embrace whatever adventures await them.
Ho, ho, ho!
And so the Grand Compass adventures continue, promising many more exciting lessons and discoveries to come. Thanks for watching.
Ho, ho, ho!